With all respect, and this truly is meant respectfully, what is being honored on Indigenous People Day? Are Indigenous people being honored? Now, if one wants to teach about the suffering of Indigenous people at the hands of Europeans, whites, our ancestors here, that's history. That should be taught. I was talking to Bill O'Reilly yesterday about his latest book on killing the mob. He wrote a book, Killing a Crazy Horse. I read it. And it's a very dark chapter in American history, the treatment of the Indian. I fully acknowledge that. But I don't know exactly what there is to celebrate. I celebrate Columbus Day because I celebrate Western civilization, the first place in the history of the world to believe in universal human rights. We didn't get universal human rights from Indigenous peoples. We didn't get women's rights from Indigenous peoples. We didn't even get an alphabet from Indigenous peoples. This is not a knock in any way, God forbid. But I think I'd like to just understand, what are you celebrating? That is, I know what I'm celebrating on Martin Luther King Day. I know what I'm celebrating on July 4th. I know what I'm celebrating on Thanksgiving. I know what I'm celebrating on Christmas. What am I celebrating on Indigenous Peoples Day?
Crazy horse. I mean,
You don't have an answer to that either.
Indigenous people.
No. But what does it mean to celebrate a people? You celebrate an achievement. Needless to say, if I were at a university and said what I just said, I would be fired. I would be picketed. I would be cursed. One of the last places in America that you can actually say anything that the left differs with is talk radio and some of the programs on Fox. I'm talking about electronic media and, of course, podcasts. Although they suppress them. Didn't you send me something about Facebook today?
Yeah. Facebook.
Oh, that it shut down the former President Trump?
Well, it's
It's keeping him shut down?
Yeah.
Isn't that astonishing?
Yeah.
The last president of the United States cannot have a Facebook account? And Facebook is allowed to continue like that in business? There is no threat to free speech from the government. The threat to free speech is from private enterprise. Lenin is quoted as having said that Western businesses will compete with one another to sell the communists the rope with which they will hang them. You are seeing that phrase every day with Coca-Cola and Delta and Nike, etc., etc.